Think of this as heartbreaking. Your lifelong friend, the person who is fully aware of all of your secrets, quirks, happiness, and worst fears are there, lying still in a hospital bed. Machines and wires surrounded him. The robust heart that was once indomitable is now susceptible. The laughter that once filled the room has been muffled by the monitor's incessant beeping. For Kelly Ripa, this was neither a television script nor a daytime drama. Her entire world was turned upside down when her cherished husband, Mark Canuellos, was unexpectedly admitted to the hospital and faced an unforeseen challenge. Kelly has always been the voice in the morning who made everyone happy, but recent nostalgic recollections reminded her of the fear she had experienced when Mark was rushed to the hospital. She remembered the sirens, the endless white hallways, and the gurney as she carried her husband into critical care. Under her breath, she uttered desperate prayers. She admitted that this could not be happening. While we were merely discussing our dinner plans, I was worried that I would lose him. The audience was horrified by what happened next. Despite his speech issues, Mark pleaded to see their children in the early hours of the intensive care unit. It was not merely a request. With all the candor in the world, a father's final request. He insisted on having face-to-face conversations with his kids. The emphasis should be on love rather than his disease or his pain. He wanted to make sure they remembered all that was important before it was too late. Kelly's heart was broken by a single request that was spoken to her in a way that no picture could ever capture. Allow me to explain the surprising route this story takes, for the straightforward reason that fulfilling Mark's wish was difficult. Their children were scattered, some working for a living, some attending school, all living the lives their parents had so tenderly provided for them. Kelly was angry on the one hand. She could either give their father's wish and make them face a reality they weren't ready for, or she could shield them from the immediate fear of his illness. Her decision to fall in love altered the reality for the whole family. When the children arrived, the reunion was utterly captivating. According to Kelly, Mark regained his composure and became the strong father his children deserved, even though he was dependent on machines. He spoke to each of the youngsters separately in a sequence of moving words. He instilled courage and responsibility in his oldest son. He discussed kindness and perseverance with his middle child. He reminded his youngest that laughter is a power, while whispering something about happiness. However, this is when the emotional burden becomes more significant. Kelly said that she believed her spouse was preparing his family not only for the process of mending, but also for the possibility of saying goodbye. You could see it clearly in his eyes. Sensing the precarious equilibrium between love and sorrow as one gets closer to death, Kelly couldn't stand it. But how can you be hopeful when your lover seems content to let go? Viewers across the United States were devastated by this spectacle. Mark quietly asked Kelly if they ever questioned his love for them after the children had left the room. Kelly had disclosed this. His request to Kelly was, "If I can't say it tomorrow, promise me you'll keep telling them for me." His final plea and wish broke Kelly's heart. However, it also gave her the strength to stick by him through the wave of hopelessness. But the mystery remained. Will this be their final family conversation? Could those statements have been his final testament? Kelly said that this was the cause of her worry during her wait in the intensive care unit. The things she clung to, her faith, the memories of their childhood together, and the promise of all the milestones they still had to come. In the midst of many restless nights, she had a revelation. These kinds of things happen to all families. Not in a hospital, maybe not in the harsh light of the intensive care unit, perhaps not. On the other hand, when our words are more important than ever, when fear and love collide, and when the future is uncertain, that revelation served as the inspiration for a recent message that Kelly shared with her followers. Be quick. Don't be shy. I love you. Forgive right away. Now, share and embrace a story or a joke, because when life throws us into those critical care units, love is the only thing we have left. We usually don't realize it until the last minute. Kelly's story does not end on a somber note, however, for the straightforward reason that, as Constable had always planned, Mark's perseverance began to emerge. The doctors gradually achieved small victories. Breathing became easier for him, he flushed once more, his smile flickered back into the room. Every development felt like a dream realized. Everyone, millions of people, have always been captivated by Kelly Ripa's husband, Mark Canuellos, due to his undeniable charm, wit, and talent. His relationship with Ripa made him one of Hollywood's most adored couples, and he gained a horde of loyal admirers from his role of the handsome and endearing Hiram Lodge on the hit television show Riverdale. Off-screen, though, the actor has faced unimaginable struggles, including a battle with a serious illness that left his loved ones and fans in a state of shock. The world was stunned to learn that Ken Wellos had been admitted to the hospital following an unexpected and serious health emergency. For days, fans were tense because there was still little information available. On social media, the actor's friends, coworkers, and millions of fans sent their support for the Ken Wellos family, hoping that he would fully recover. But Ken Wellos and his family were going through a distressing hardship behind those words of encouragement. Medical professionals reportedly told Mark's family that he might not survive the ordeal. Only days before, he had seemed to have been in good health, so the news of his hospitalization came as a shock to everyone. It became clear that the stakes were higher than anyone had anticipated, as critical care doctors fought heroically to stabilize his condition. Alongside him, his loved ones prayed for a miracle. In spite of all the odds, Mark made a final impassioned plea that would break his family's hearts, but they were determined to honor his word. According to those closest to the family, Mark had a simple yet significant final wish. He wanted Mike, Gel, and Lola to know that no matter what, he would always love and be proud of them. He gave his rock Kelly the task of expressing his love and how much they added joy to his life. Despite his tears, Mark, who was already feeble, was able to make his plea. He was conscious of the difficulties that lay ahead, but he found comfort in the knowledge that his loved ones would always be there for him. Kelly was devastated to hear her spouse say those things. The idea of leaving him was almost intolerable. Their strong relationship had carried them through many hardships, but Kelly, the devoted and supportive partner, assured Mark that she would fulfill his goal. No husband or wife should ever have to endure such an intolerable burden. Her unwavering strength was supported by their children's love and support, as well as the unwavering compassion of their extended family. Over time, there were some noticeable improvements in Mark's health. The prognosis was still uncertain, but experts were cautiously optimistic. His resilience and the overwhelming love and support that surrounded him gave him the willpower to keep going. As Mark's health steadied, the outlook for him and his loved ones progressively improved. It was, to put it plainly, a miracle. On his challenging road to recovery, Mark has made significant progress, and his family remains steadfast in their commitment to his well-being. Mark has expressed his gratitude to the medical team for their heroic efforts to save him, as well as his family and fans for their unwavering love and support. The incident has left a lasting impression for Mark and his family. This is a story of triumph, hope, and regeneration rather than a dim conclusion. Nevertheless, the trauma of their first few days in the intensive care unit will never completely leave them. Mark's final request for his kids was a heartfelt illustration of life's fleeting nature, the importance of loved ones, and the power of love itself. As Mark continues his journey to recovery, his story is inspiring and giving courage to many. His story depicts the power of familial bonds and the ability of the human will to endure unspeakable misfortune. Through it all, Mark Ken Wellos' family stayed together and treasured every moment while honoring his incredible final wish to never stop reminding their kids of how much he loved them.